Okay, so this one is kind of partially factored, and it makes it more difficult to deal with than just if they ask you to factor it. But I'm gonna have to go over here on the side where there's more room and write all these down kind of individually and go through them. So number one is x squared minus one, and so let me make sure I have to do this. Talk about this the right way. I have to set each set of parentheses equal to 0 to fully factor it. Number 2 and 4 I have to factor. Okay, so x squared minus 1 equals 0. That's x minus 1, x plus 1 equals 0 when I factor it, which gives me x equals 1, x equals minus 1. That's wrong because it only says zeros of 1, and it clearly has minus 1 also. All right. Number 3 has x squared plus 25 equals 0. But this is not difference in two perfect squares. That actually doesn't factor, so it's not number 3. All right. And that means I now have to do some not complicated, but pain in the butt work to deal with this x to the third minus a x squared plus 16x minus 16a. All right. And see what happens here. All right, so I got a factor by grouping here. I'm going to take an x squared out of the first two, and I'm going to get x squared times x minus a. And I'm going to take a 16 out of the second two, and I'm going to get plus 16 times x minus a, all right, which is x squared plus 16 times x minus a. All right, this has the same problem that the x squared plus 25 does. It doesn't factor, all right? So that means that number 2 also has the same problem, which means the answer has to be number 4. Okay, I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm going to factor that one too. So it's x to the third minus ax squared minus 9x. X to the third minus ax squared minus 9x, probably minus 9a, plus 9a. All right, I'm going to take an x squared out of those first two, and I'm going to get x squared times x minus a. Take a minus 9 out of those second two, minus 9 times x minus a, which gives me x squared minus 9 times x minus a. This guy gives me x minus 3, x plus 3, which is x equals 3, x equals minus 3, and that's x equals a. Okay, now there's a lot of complex factoring that I have to do, and just how long it takes you depends on how good you are at factoring. Then if you look at this answer, has zeros. Sorry, my touchpad's not working. Zeros of -3 and +3 and a, which is what we just got. So that's why that's answered that one. That is an ugly question.